What's going on, everybody? Today we're going to take an early look at the Death of Wolverine Omnibus. This series, I kind of have a soft spot for it. I was new into reading comics weekly again, and I was picking up new titles as they were coming out. This starts off with a new Wolverine #1 from the 2013 volume. Wolverine losing his powers, leading into the death of Wolverine. We're going to take a look at the book, the story, what it collects, and all that good stuff. Let's jump into it. All right, so this is the regular cover. They went with the Alex Ross 75th anniversary variant. I loved what Alex Ross was doing with these covers at the time. I was collecting all these variants. I think they were high ratios, but he did amazing paintings for not only Wolverine, but there were X-Men, Captain America, Daredevil. He did a ton of these, kind of like encompassing the entire character in the image. So this was very cool. I thought this would have been the direct market variant. They actually went with the Joe Quesada Death of Wolverine with all the skeletons popping out of him for the direct market. But man, beautiful cover here. I love an Alex Ross dust jacket on an omnibus. Here's the spine, Death of Wolverine. You got the red logo. You have the creative team on the bottom, Wolverine as well. And then on the back, the best there was. They actually killed Wolverine off, guys. It started back in 2013. Like I said, they had a Wolverine kind of reboot. It ran for 13 issues. Then it ran to another volume, the 2014 volume, where it ran for 12 issues. Then it had an annual. Then we had the 4-issue miniseries Death of Wolverine. So basically you have the lead-up series. The main story is just a 4-issue series, but then you have all these Death of Wolverine dealing with the fact that Wolverine's dead, kind of a thing for Deadpool and Captain America, Nightcrawler, Wolverine and the X-Men, Storm. Basically the aftermath. $125 cover price. You can get it discounted from organicpricebooks.com. All of their in-stock books are discounted. They have great packaging, fast shipping, and you can save an additional $2 by using code GEMMIN at checkout. If you guys are overseas, anybody in the EU, and you're looking to pick up some omnibus, check out comicsbugle.com. It's free shipping, no taxes or import fees if you're within the EU. They're also heavily discounted once they're in stock. Great packaging, fast shipping, and you can pre-order there as well without having to pay until the book is actually ready to ship. So comicsbugle.com, you could also save $2 using code GEMMIN at checkout. All right, and then the inside of the dust jacket, more redded out Wolverine, the loss of a legend. So this tells us where we're at with the story here. Wolverine, what he's been through, whether it's Weapon X or getting his adamantium ripped out by Magneto, having to get it regrafted, now losing his healing factor, a virus from the microverse causes him to lose that ability, and not at a good time as well, because there's a bounty on his head. Viper, Sabretooth, who could it be? Don't want to spoil it, but somebody's after him, and he's at his most vulnerable, which is evident in the death of Wolverine when he is actually killed. And he doesn't return to comics for 5 years? So then we have the aftermath. How are the other heroes, mutants, dealing with the death of Wolverine? Here we have a biography on the creators: Paul Cornell, Charles Soule, Alan Davis, Salvador La Roca, Steve McNiven, and Ryan Stegman. And then the graphic on the actual hardcover, pretty cool, man. Wolverine in the silhouette with the blood splatter all over the white Omni. Pretty crazy. Let's open up, white cover pages, and then boom, Death of Wolverine with that same type of vibe, with the same logo. So there's not a table of contents here. It really just jumps right into it. But you do have all the credits that let you know, the creative team. So from the first volume is Paul Cornell, who's writing, Alan Davis on the pencils, Mark Farmer is the inker. Then you get to the next volume, we get a little bit of Ryan Stegman there. And then you have The Death of Wolverine is by Charles Soule and Steve McNiven. And then here are all of the follow-up series. I didn't really go over them on the back of the book, so it's all Death of Wolverine, but it's the Weapon X program 1 through 5. You have Logan Legacy 1 through 7. Deadpool and Captain America as a one-shot. Death of Wolverine Life After Logan with what looks like 3 stories there. Nightcrawler 7, Storm 4 and 5, and then Wolverine and the X-Men 10 and 11. And that is it. So then here we have some more credits on the actual omnibus. Boom, jumping into #1, you'll probably remember this volume from that cover. Hunting Season is the first 4-part arc. And then here we have Logan losing his powers. I remember, man, this stuff coming out on the shelves. I was so excited to be back into comics at the time, reading Dan Slott, Spider-Man, Rick Remender, Venom. Wolverine is up there in my top 5 for sure. And I didn't really mind that they were killing him off. I figure it's comics. He'll be back one day. Little did I know that he would be gone for 5 years or whatever. And it would end up leading into the inspiration for the Logan movie as well. Killing him off. I mean, it's very old man Logan, but also the death and everything, which was, I'm not going to show the death in this scene in case you're picking this up and you haven't read it yet. But yeah, Death of Wolverine. It is not clickbait. And it's just kind of a straightforward omnibus. So here we have also Wolverine has to wear a new suit to be able to go toe-to-toe with his enemies now that he no longer has his healing factor. Here we have some superior Spider-Man. So it always kind of lets you know what era you're in by the characters that are surrounding him. So then we're in the next volume here. His Ryan Stegman art, of course. I was a fan of Superior Spider-Man. I thought it was fun. Again, another kind of instance where Peter Parker is dead, but this is comics. These characters don't stay dead. All right, so we get both of those volumes. Here we are at number 6, still with the Ryan Stegman. Wolverine still has his new kind of mech suit or suit of armor, if you will. And then we're going to lead into the Charles Soule Death of Wolverine. Here's the annual Wolf and Cub, Lone Wolf and Cub. I remember this too. This was the Marvel 75th anniversary celebration. They also made an omnibus, and this was the dust jacket too. But reading the Marvel Comics #1. So then we get into Death of Wolverine. Boom. I remember these all had foil covers or kind of like shiny covers and a ton of variants. The back of each of them had the Wolverine claw, and each new issue, like another claw was exploding, which they have the art in here as well. So Sabretooth versus Wolverine. Viper plays a role here. And I don't want to get into any spoiler stuff. So then the epilogue, the Death of Wolverine. How is it impacting others? How does it impact the Marvel Universe? And again, man, he was gone for, I want to say it was 5 years. It might have been a little bit less, right? 2014-ish to 20. Yeah, maybe it was 3 or 4 years. Here goes some Dakin action. X-23, Dakin. How does everybody move on in this world without Wolverine? Dakin becomes a new Wolverine. Nice Mystique cover here for the Logan Legacy stuff. Here goes the Deadpool and Cap, the X-Men. So, I'm a Wolverine fan. This story, I think, is worth the read. It was kind of one of those things where it was a big deal as it was happening. But I don't know. You're not really going to hear many people say, bro, you got to read Death of Wolverine. Like, it's not like a high recommend book. But as a Wolverine fan, bro, it's a must-add omnibus. I think it's worth the read. It's not the best thing you're going to read, but it's not like whack. Ton of variants in the back. Scotty Young with Wolverine and Cyclops. A lot of times the variants let me know what era we were at, too. Humberto Ramos stuff here. Ed McGuinness, Mike Deodato, Salvador La Roca, Pascal Champion, Game Over, 8-bit cover or what have you. Here's the design variant for that new suit for the second volume. Adi Granov, big fan of the painters. I skipped a page here. Greg Horn cover, Wolverine going berserk. Art Adams, Wolvie, kind of like an ASM 300 homage a little bit. We really killed the homages, right? Like, geez. No more homages. Nice Ryan Stegman cover. J. Scott Campbell stuff. They had those as connecting covers. I used to have this one. Pascal Ferry, Deadpool and Wolverine. More Greg Horn stuff. I used to have these too, the Greg Land. Here is the DM variant cover, the Joe Quesada. This is the king right here, Alex Ross. I love me an Alex Ross omnibus. Here, more Scotty Young stuff. Here's the Greg Land with more damage. With super damage and the Fatal Attractions homage. More Jay Scott. And there's the last one, Greg Land. They should have put those back to back. Here's the Jay Scott. They were 4 connecting covers. Scotty Young. I was all about the variants around this time, man. I just liked picking up cool stuff. Then they have the different kind of treatments on the covers with this faded stuff. I never liked the Canadian background ones. Like, it's so, I don't know. It's a little much. Here's the cover. I'm surprised this wasn't one of the dust jacket options. I think you have some interior sketches for the first issue. The Len Wein, co-creator of Wolverine, interview here, old interview. Then you get Death of Wolverine director's cut, so little excerpts from the creative team going through each page. It's pretty cool. More bonus materials. Looks like the same kind of thing. Director's cut for issue 3. And then some reflections from the creators. Had to do it as an omnibus. Again, another reason why I love the format. If you wanted to read Death of Wolverine and you wanted the whole story, by the way, here's that exploding back covers. You get the prologues, the main event, even though it's only 4 issues, and all the aftermath, man. Let me know what you guys think about the Death of Wolverine Omnibus from Marvel. How do you think they did on the Omni? What do you think about the story, the artwork? Sound off in the comments down below. Thank you for watching. Stay minty fresh. Peace.